someone in the chat could tell what the word of the day means, and Gundavi can tell how many times we.
Should I like search it up on Google and then like show you it?
Yeah, you can do that. That'll be perfect.
So we could wait till the first speech, and if Viveka hasn't shown up yet, maybe we can pick someone else.
Yeah. If is the vice president here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah, we have.
Okay, so then we can Kundavi can start the meeting now. It's already 6:04. So Kundavi can start the meeting and tell if there's a guest or not. So you can be
Hello everyone, and welcome to our last section of Toastmasters. We have done it. 8 weeks. We have done it again. Okay, so whoever made would someone explain the word of the day? The person who made it, or Monisha, her secretary?
I'll explain. So the word of the day is dexterous, and it means having skill, especially with hands. So like being nimble or like handy.
Okay. The word of the day sounds very challenging, but because of these 7 weeks, I think we're up to that challenge. So let's see. Let's introduce the roles. Okay.
Monisha, can you put the agenda in the chat again? I joined late, so I can't see it.
Okay.
Okay.
So there is no guest speaker. And may our vice president please introduce our timer, all counter, evaluator.
Okay, so Anna, what is your role and what does it do?
I'm going to be the timer this evening, and the speeches are to be between 5 to 7 minutes. So I will show a green piece of paper at 5 minutes, a yellow at 6, and a red at 7. I will also time the table topics, which are to be 1 to 2 minutes. So we'll show a green at 1, a yellow at 1.5, and a red at 2. And I will also time the evaluations, which should be 2 to 3 minutes. We've gotten away from getting to that goal point. So I give you a challenge if you're an evaluator to get to 2 minutes. And I'll show green at 2 minutes. So look for the green before you stop talking. And at 2.5, I'll show yellow, and I will show the red at 3. And then I will give a report at the end of the meeting on how we did. Thank you.
Okay, so since Viveka isn't here, I guess we'll wait. So I'll just skip her for now. Prithika, what is your role and what does it do?
I'm an evaluator, and I evaluate speaker one on how good their speech was and if there was something they could improve on.
Okay, Ridgel, what is your role and what does it do?
Did I get chosen for a role? I don't remember entering for one.
yes.
Yeah, on the agenda you're
evaluator
one.
I'm a
two.
what? It was breaking up.
You're evaluator 2.
I'm sorry for the confusion. Rachel, you
Evaluator
have been
2.
assigned for evaluator 2.
So I evaluate speaker 2's speech.
Okay, Vidhi, what is your role and what does it do?
I say a speech and say a speech about what I want, and the other people, like the evaluator, judges it.
Bonnie, what is your role and what does it do?
I am speaker number 2, I think, and I will be giving a speech on taking care of kids and my trip with the kids. And it should be like 5 to 7 minutes, and that will be it.
Okay, Ananya, what is your role and what does it do?
She may not have
Ananya,
heard you.
what is your role and what does it do? Ananya, what is your role and what does it do?
Yeah, sorry. There's some internet issues. Yeah, our rule is table topics and not ask people questions. So I can pick anyone and or they can raise their hand.
Okay, that's all for the roles.
Okay. If we are done with the roles, we may start the speech by Vidhi. Vidhi, the stage is all yours.
Good evening. Today I'm going to be talking about hate, and I will tell you a few tips to keep yourself calm. As you all know, we are in a deadly pandemic, and lots of us are doing homeschool and or work from home. We are not going out of the house to do outdoor activities due to social distancing and for safety reasons. Because of that, more people are going to social media to have fun. But I noticed many people are getting hate and easy targets on social media. You must be wondering what I mean by hate. By hate, I mean that people are getting cyberbullied and people are getting bad comments that are putting them down. For example, the TikTok star Charli D'Amelio gets comments like Charli has no talent, the rape queen, and etc. This is one type of hate, and the owner, in this case, Charli D'Amelio, she gets so much hate. She said in the news confessing that nobody is perfect. She even said that people cannot make fun of people by their looks and etc. And if you're not interested, if they're not interested, they can just scroll instead of sending hate comments to other people and weakening them. This tells us that she understands how we feel about hate, and she wants to tell us that hate weakens people, so we should stop hate and not take it seriously. This speech may sound boring, but is now the reason people are getting sick. When people are comments saying you have no talents, you are ugly, and etc., these people feel like they are not good enough, and by that thought, people start getting depression, anxiety, and other mental issues. So since we have talked about the effects of hate on our lives, let me give some small tips to get over the hateful comments. First is try to ignore hateful comments. Have a positive attitude. If someone is saying that you are not beautiful, you can ignore those kind of comments. But if someone is saying that they didn't like that particular lyrics of your song or your activity, you can take it as a feedback and try to improve upon it. As Charli said, nobody is perfect. We all should avoid hateful comments and criticism. Also, you should always try looking for a good thing from hate. By that, I mean you should always think about the opposite meaning. For example, the hate comment saying you're ugly, think of it as saying you're beautiful, because haters usually comment those mean texts just to make you, because they're jealous. This tip is pretty helpful. It helps you feel strong, and I personally use this tip a lot. The last thing I'm going to say for the speech today is that you all are cared for and are special. Do not let anyone put you down, because if you get weak, the haters technically achieve what they need. Thank you.
great speech. Loved it. Now, will Miss Bonnie?
Okay, yes, I was unmuting myself. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm going to tell you a story about my experience taking care of my great niece and my great nephew, and while their parents went on a cruise. So I hadn't been around kids for a long time, and being with my niece and my nephew, that was going to be an experience because I really didn't have a lot of time with them. So they really didn't know me and I really didn't know them. But I was going to have 2 weeks with them. This was going to be okay. Let's see how this goes. So the little boy, Landon, who is about 6 years old at the time, and Kyrie was about 4. And Landon was in school and Kyrie was in daycare. So that wasn't hard because I would take him to school every day. And Kyrie, I would take her to daycare. And then afterwards, then we'd have the evening together, which was good because I would go ahead and show, I had flashcards for Landon. So he had to learn his words. And that's how he did it. And I would work with him in the evening. And with Kyrie, she would go and play with her toys. So I had this den and it had all these toys and it was scattered all over the place. So that was fine because it kept them entertained. So before the weekend, I had decided I would take a trip to go see their great grandmother who lived in Chino Valley. And that was, I thought was about 2 or 3 hours away. To my surprise, it was more like 4 hours away. So come Friday, I picked up Landon off of school, had Kyrie in the car with me, and off we go on our road trip. And we stopped about an hour after this, and so that they could have a bite to eat. We stopped at McDonald's in Payson, which was, like I said, about an hour away. So I bought them some chicken nuggets, fries, and some orange juice. Off we go on our road trip. Next thing you know, about an hour later, Landon says, Aunt Bonnie, I need the bathroom. And I'm like, what? We're in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around us. So anyway, and I said, can you wait? Can you wait till we find something? And he goes, I'm going to try. So we're going a little bit, Aunt Bonnie, I really need the bathroom. So we're driving a little more, and then finally I found the station. So we got off the car, got down, went into this little station, went into the restroom. Being that they were young kids, I go, no, they're going to both go into the ladies' room. So right away, Landon goes into one stall, Kyrie goes into the other. So I'm standing there waiting for him. Next thing I know, I hear Kyrie, Aunt Bonnie, Landon is looking under the wall. So you know how the partitions are. They're not all the way to the floor. So I had to say, Landon, quit peeking under. Hurry up so we can go back on our trip. Next thing I know, here Landon, Aunt Bonnie, Kyrie's unrolling the toilet paper. So off I look, there's all this toilet paper on the floor. So Kyrie, pick up the toilet paper. Don't throw it in the toilet. It's just finished so we can go back on our trip. Finally, they finished and washed their hands and back in the car we go. They get into their car seats and off we go to our trip. Well, it's getting dark. I hadn't realized that it was like 4-hour trip. I thought, oh, this is a piece of cake, 3 hours or 2 hours. No problem. It's getting dark. The kids fall asleep and I'm like, whew, good. Okay, that'll keep them quiet for a while till we get to grandma's house. So then finally we get to grandma's house and the kids are asleep. My sister comes and picks up the kids, takes them into the house. I greeted them. And it's a good thing at where my sister lived, I had a friend that lived close by. So I spent a couple of days with her while the kids got to visit grandma. Sunday comes and I'm like, oh no, I am not driving in the dark again. So I go pick up the kids. My sister says, Landon was sick all night long. Oh my goodness, that's all I needed, that we're going to get sick in the car. So he was asleep. We put him in the car seat. Thank goodness he slept all the way. Kyrie was awake and she was telling me stories, and which was really interesting. I guess because we're talking about, I mean, we're in the mountains, so there's trees, and she's making up these stories that there's dragons behind the trees. And I'm like, okay, it's keeping her entertained. I look back Next thing, she's out of her car seat. And I'm like, Kyrie, get back in the car seat. The cops are going to stop us. You don't want Aunt Bonnie to get a ticket. So she gets back in her car seat. Next thing I know, I look back and there she is, has her legs pulled up to her knees, pulled up to her chin, out of the car seat. I'm like, Kyrie, get back in the car seat. Now, Landon, we weren't worried about that because he was asleep. He was still getting over his fever. So finally we reach home. And the next thing it was like, okay, out of the car we go. Landon goes in, goes back to bed, and Kyrie stays awake, and we're having dinner and taking their bath. And I'm like, oh, good. Pretty soon the parents are coming. But that was my experience with these two kids that I didn't know, but it's an experience I will never forget. And I'm sure you guys can relate. And maybe you've done the same thing with your parents that you're like, aren't we there yet? Or aren't we going to stop? I'm hungry, or I need the bathroom. So anyway, that's my story.
I am exactly like those two children. Excited. Are we there yet? I probably like for like 1 hour, I at least say like 1,000. Are we there yet? It's just the story of life. Okay. If we are done. Oh, we got one dexterous. I still can see that. We got one dexterous, so yay. Woohoo. I guess now it's time for table topics. One of my favorite parts. Okay. Ananya, our table topic master, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. So, okay, does anyone want a table topic? Anyone? Okay, Kundavi. I did a table topic. What would you name your boat if you had one?
I would name my boat like something to do with the boat. So say it was like a speedboat, I would name it like Speed. Like, but if it was like a big transportation boat, it's kind of like transportation.
It's like a normal boat.
Like a normal boat. I mean, like it still depends on like what boat it is. Like there's many types of boat in the world. Speedboat, I don't know. The same way I kind of like name my cars. So like my cars are different brands. Like I have like 3 cars. Oh, like yeah. And I name them like Transport, Trust, and Air. So like it depends on like what they do, what's their purpose, what are they, and like how it's helpful. So like I need to always answer those 3 questions for like things if I want to name it. So it's pretty nice having a boat. I mean, like that part is the best. Not like naming it, because like, you know, you can call like it Transport, but then like you forget the name, so you called it Speed, and then like you forget the other name of the other one, and then you call him like, I don't know. So it would really depend on the boat type. So if I had a boat, it would probably name Speed or Transport if you want like the name. So yeah.
Okay, that was a very interesting answer. So yeah. Next table topic. Does anyone want one? Anyone? Also, Kundavi, tell me if someone is raising their hand because I don't know if they are.
I cannot see any hands. Okay.
Okay. Can I pick someone?
Oh wait,
think I
wait. We see a hand. We see a hand. Ria.
Ria? Okay, Ria wants a tabletop. Okay. Ria, your table topic is who is the messiest person you know?
My parents. I personally think that my parents are the messiest people in the world because wherever I go, any room, I see their stuff. And I'm always asked to clean it, and half of the stuff are not even mine. But I still have to clean the kitchen where my mom does all her work. I have to clean in the living room where we all do work, but I only sit at my desk. So my desk is mostly my stuff, but everywhere else is filled with my parents' stuff. They say they don't have anything, but literally more than half of my house is filled with their stuff. So their stuff is lying everywhere. And my dad's closet is the messiest of everything. There's clothes lying everywhere. And then there's coins everywhere. And then there's wallets and then more and more coins. So usually every year we go to the bank and put like our extra coins inside. And I'm the one who's asked to go around the house and pick up all the spare coins so we can put it in the bank account. But it's not my coins, it's their coins. They should pick it up. And yeah, but out of my dad and my mom, I would say my mom is more messy. The basement, we cleaned it literally 2 months ago and it's already very messy. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, that was very, I did not expect that answer, and I do not know how you keep up all that cleaning for your parents.
I like cleaning.
So that's a lot of hard work. So yeah, the next, does anyone want a table topic? Anyone?
Do you not see any
Anyone?
hands flying with eager? Ooh, we have one.
Okay, who is it?
I think it's Mr. Salvatore. Because like he was waving his hand. Yay, we were right.
Anyone?
Myself, what is the topic?
Okay, maybe, let's see. I can pick someone to do a table topic then. The question?
Ananya, what is the topic,
Is
please?
it a question?
Question, yeah.
The question, yeah, basically, the question is, what's the most useless talent you have? So like the talent that you is useless, like a useless talent. Anyone?
What is the special talent you have? Is that a question?
He said, what is the most useless talent that you have?
Oh,
Mr. Silva said he's going to answer the question, Anyan.
What is the most useless talent I have? Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see it. Yeah. Useless talent.
I think you are breaking. Can you type? Can you type it? Breaking a lot. Sorry, I couldn't understand.
Yeah, she said, what's the most useless talent you had? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the most useless talent you have. Yeah, I did remember. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a hard question for Mr. Salva.
No, it is not, because I figured out. Okay, let me start. Okay, time clock starts now.
Yeah, okay.
It is a very interesting topic. It is a dexterous skill that I have. It is a dexterous skill because when I dream, I was about to realize that I am living with that situation or the dream, But maybe next 5 seconds or maybe next 5 minutes, if I in the dream, sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm living the dream. Is it happening? Then suddenly I wake up and I see, oh, it's not the real. But most of the many times I have seen maybe around 5 or 6, whatever 5 I'm living the dream as if it happened. So suddenly I wake up and I see, I don't know whether it comes from subconscious mind or which world it is, but I feel like, oh, I could have slept 5 more minutes. Then my dream is true. You know, I had that dexterous skill of imagining myself. Oh, oh man, why that I woke up 2 minutes earlier? I could have slept, I could have done for 2 more minutes. Then I could have lived that driving in a Tesla or getting into the space or going in exploring out of the world. No, so much, and I was flying. In the dream, I was flying most of the time from Houston to Albany. I like 10 minutes. I'm here. I don't need to wait like 8 hours in the flight. And it so happened when I jump, when I press like in a swimming, when you jump like this, when you do the hand, same way I applied in my flying skills. I had that flying skill in my dream, and it's so true. I lived that dream. So with that, I think that is one of dexterous skill that I had, I think. Okay, unfortunately, I couldn't put into use. Thank you.
Okay, that's a very, very, very never expect that answer to this question. That's a very interesting answer. Does anyone want a table topic? Anyone? I'll pick someone if no one raises their hand. Davish, you want a table topic? Yep. Okay. So the question is, where is the worst smelling place you've been? So like the worst place you've seen, like smell, like the worst smelling place.
Probably my brother's room because he never cleans it, and he just leaves like banana peels on his table, and I don't know how he sits next to them for his virtual classes, and once when I went in his room, I opened one of the drawers and there was a bunch of like things that like a bunch of peels and stuff inside of it, and it just smelled horrendous. And he also he takes the worn clothes and he just puts it back in his closet, and then my mom yells at him, and yeah, that's why it's the worst smelling place.
Okay, kind of. That's also a very interesting answer. I do not know how your brother can stand the smell, but okay. Does anyone want to have a question? Anyone wants a question? I'll tell you the question if you guys the next question, if anyone wants it. What is the dumbest way you've been injured? Like the dumbest way you've been injured. Oh, Kundavi, Kundavi, I have to pick someone else because you already did one.
No, I was just raising my hand to say that.
Okay, then that's fine. Monisha, you can go next. You can go now.
Okay, so the dumbest way
Question is the dumbest way you've been injured.
So I was in my tech class where we like build machines and stuff, and I was playing around with a piece of cardboard and an X-Acto knife. So like according to my friends, because like I wasn't paying attention, so according to my friends, I was stabbing the cardboard or something, and I stabbed my finger instead, and I was bleeding, but instead of like crying, because like I was like bleeding a lot, so instead of crying, I started laughing for some reason, and I didn't realize like how I got hurt until like my teacher started yelling at me. And so I think that was like one of the dumbest ways I've got hurt, by like not paying attention and like using an X-Acto knife, because I meant to like like mark the place. Like I was making dotted lines, but I thought I was holding a pencil. So I was like, but instead I was holding an X-Acto knife. So like I wasn't paying attention. So I think that's one of the dumbest ways I've got hurt.
Wait, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was accidentally muted. Yeah, that sounds painful. That sounds painful. That gotta hurt. That gotta hurt in a way. If okay, next question. If I'm just telling you, so if you want to do it, what is the best purchase you've ever made? So like anything you bought, what's the best one you've made? Anyone? I'll pick someone then. Anyone?
For the last table topic, I thought I saw Mr. Alter's.
Yeah, Mr. Alter, do you wanna answer the topic?
Sure. Oh man, say that question again. My best purchase?
Yes, the best purchase you've made.
Okay, let me try to simplify this. Okay, well, I guess this will be boring, but the best purchase I ever made was my house that I bought in Austin, Texas. The community is awesome. It's in a little cul-de-sac. It was my first house and my last house. I still own it in Texas. I grew up. When I was born, I was born into an apartment and the projects actually in Philadelphia. So, and then we had a house and we lost our house, and the rest of my life, since I was 8, we lived in apartments. So I was so used to living in apartments. I was just paying rent all the time, and it just seemed so normal to me. And then just one day, I was living in Texas. I went home to Philadelphia to visit my grandparents, and I came back and I just wanted to buy a house, and bought a house in 2 months within me being back home. And it's been boring, but it's my best purchase ever. I wish I could say something that would relate, but that's all I got.
Yeah, that's actually not really a bored thing, but that's a really good story. I really like that answer. It's a basic, but still it's a good story. I really enjoyed that. Here's the next here's the next question. Oh, okay, this is similar to the last one, but this is what's the worst purchase you made? It's the worst one, not the best one. So I think mostly everybody would have a word purchase, mostly everyone. So anyone who hasn't spoken?
Yeah.
Okay, this will be the next table topic for today. So,
yeah, that will be the last table topic for today.
Yeah. Puhulanti. Yes. Yeah. Puhulanti is raising his hand. So yeah, Puhulanti. The stage is yours.
Okay, so the worst purchase I have ever made is, you all have known, school lunch. I mean, first of all, the lunch isn't really that good and it's overpriced. Like the pizza cheese, it feels like plastic for some reason. And there's barely any stuff on it. The only thing you can see is just the bread and tomato. There's rarely cheese. And those pizzas cost $2, when you can go to another store and get a slice for less than 50 cents. And another item on the menu would be pretzels. When I first got them, I saw that they were really big, but then I realized I had no salt. And I was like, oh, this will taste different. And when I tasted the bite of it, it was so bad. Like instead of it tasting like a pretzel, it tasted like bagel dough. I mean, it was exactly the same. And that costed $3. And there's also other stuff like burgers, which is $1, but they aren't that much. It's just very like half the size of a McDonald's sandwich. It was it's a tiny piece of bread and an even smaller piece of meat or something else. And the salad is $3. And it's in the cup of an apple. It's like it's apple size cup large. It's the size of an apple sauce container. I don't know why I buy them, but they're really good. But one of the best purchases in the school cafeteria is the cookies. Um, the normal chocolate chip cookies are 50 cents, and the sugar cookies are also 50 cents, but they're rare. And there's also Scooby-Doo gummies, which I rarely get. So overall, I think the worst purchase I have ever made is school cafeteria food.
Okay, also you got good timing, good job, and also that is okay. I feel very bad for the students in school who eat. I don't know how how you're supposed to eat that, and I don't know how it will taste, but okay, that's the most interesting answer I've ever heard. So yeah, on the stage is now yours, going to be. And that's all of the table topics for today.
Yes. I think I could relate to everyone. Like, if I need to relate most, I would relate to Puhulanti because one time I got a popcorn chicken salad, but there wasn't even any chicken on it. I'm like, what? I got it because of the chicken. But whoa. I thought I said that was the last table topic. Okay. Other topics. I think we can get the evaluations for speaker 1 and 2.
Okay, so can I start?
Yes, Ritika, the stage is all yours.
Okay. Vidhi, I loved how you self-corrected yourself throughout the entire speech. You would correct yourself if you said something wrong, and I thought that was a great idea. So, there would be no ums or buts or filler words. Another thing that I thought you could fix was you'd look at the same spot in your camera when you talk, so it looked like you were reading off of notes or off of Google Docs. So maybe you can shift where your eyes are so that it doesn't look like you're reading off of anything. And lastly, I'd like to say I really loved how you made real life connections with the social media stories. I think that was good because the listeners can connect to it and pay more attention to the content of your speech.
Perfect. Now we can hear from our second evaluator. Don't forget the cups for everyone. Miss Bonnie? Oh, we didn't jot down an evaluator 2.
No, evaluator 2 is Rigel actually. I think Monisha wrote that. Bonnie's actually a speaker 2, so Rigel's actually our evaluator 2. So
okay. Honest mistake. Silly mistake.
That was a little mistake. Honest mistake. Yeah, but it's okay. Rigel, okay. Rigel, if you're there, can you evaluate Bonnie's speech?
I think Rijul is offline. So whoever would like to.
I see Rajul, but his video, oh, I cannot hear. He has typed in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Can someone type in the chat that Rijul is should evaluate on his speech now? And yeah, or he can, or Rijul, or tell him he can type in the chat.
He has put, I will leave and rejoin.
I don't know why. Okay. He'll.
Yep,
Yeah.
he has
So.
So
Yeah,
maybe
we'll just wait a few minutes until he comes back.
So
Kundavi, I'll try to help you. So until Rijul joins, why don't you share one or two, maybe Kundavi and Vidhi, and I'll pick up Ria, Monisha, Velen, Nambi. So you three of you provide one positive thing that you liked, one improvement area.
for what?
Of Bonnie's speech.
Oh, okay. If it's okay with you, may I evaluate first?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Miss Bonnie, that was an amazing speech. I'm like looking for words. I cannot say anything. But like your speech was super nice. I really with my mom and dad. So I really liked your speech. I really couldn't find like any corrections. But like the only thing maybe is I have no clue. So
okay. No problem. Hold on, Gundari. That's good. Okay. So what do you like most, Inia? What do you like Bonnie's speech? What did you like? It's not about the speech. See, for example, let me give you. I like the way her lighting today. You can see the light on her face. And her body language. I could see the hand gesture, and she was narrating the story, how the kids were, and she was so. Her voice modulation was good. So like that, what do you like most from Bonnie's speech today?
I think her speech was very descriptive.
Mm-hmm.
You could really picture it in your mind. So that was something I enjoyed the most.
Okay. Thank you. Velen Nambi.
I really liked how she made it seem like an actual story. It wasn't like an essay or something. It wasn't like something that was typed. She made it sound like really flowy and like really it was like she didn't take much breaks in the middle. She didn't say any filler words or anything like that. She just kind of told it like a story, like a book.
Okay. I think that's good. I think great. So how about if I can ask Mason, do you have any point? Did you observe any Mason Alvin? What do you like most, Mason? Mason, are you able to hear me? You have to unmute and talk. Now it's muted. Now speak.
Wait, what did you say?
Yeah, have you listened to Bonnie's speech?
What?
Yeah, have you listened to Bonnie's speech, and he's asking you to evaluate it.
Everybody's kind of laggy. I can't hear.
Okay, don't worry. I'll move on.
sorry to interrupt, but our real evaluator Rijul has came back, so maybe we can let Rijul evaluate.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Rijul, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So sorry
Okay,
about
go
that.
ahead. I just was getting some time for you, Rijul. Go ahead. I know you are upside down, but let's listen to you. Go ahead.
So I really liked Bonnie's speech because I felt like I was in the moment. Like you could really feel like you were there, and like the daycare and everything, like you could like she said it with like a lot of expression, like you know when you read a book but like with expression and not like a robot. So that's how I felt her speech was, and I really liked it a lot. So that's my evaluation. I felt like everything felt like was like there weren't any pauses, and it was like flowly like it was just like flowing. So that's the evaluation.
Thank all of you for your evaluation. I like that.
Raju and all of the evaluators, we had a few today. Really nice evaluations. I think we can have like a general evaluation, and then after that, maybe we can spend the 5 minutes and like give it to the coordinators and tell what they liked about the Toastmaster, because it's the end of program 2 today. So
What about the timer?
Timer?
Oh wait, the timer. We forgot the timer and the all counter. Who's the all counter again?
Vivica's the all counter.
Yeah, she's not here. So I don't know how we're supposed to do the counter thing now, since we don't have it.
I guess we don't have our counter, but maybe we can.
So I guess we'll have to get a timer too.
Okay.
Yeah. So time with Anna. Miss Anna. Do you have all the timings?
Sure. Okay, for speaker 1, Vidya, you had 3 minutes and 20 seconds. You did very well. You are talking much longer, and that's great. You're doing a very nice job and with a very nice topic. Excellent. Speaker 2 was Bonnie, and that was 5 minutes and 50 seconds, which is perfect. For table topics, well, let's do the evaluators first. The evaluators, Pritika, you had 1 minute and 4 seconds, and Rajul, you had 56 seconds. So we didn't quite get to the 2 minutes yet, but we're getting closer to 1 minute. So that's good. And actually, Pritika, you went over 1 minute. So that's really good. Okay, table topics. We're doing a lot better on table topics. Several of them went over the 1 minute mark. So Kandavi, you had 1 minute and 43 seconds, and you used that very wisely. I have to say, you pivoted from your question about a name for a boat to naming cars. That was really excellent and gained you some time and good use of that pivot. And Ria, you had 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you used a good personal story to get to that. That was excellent. Mr. Selva, you were 2 minutes and 10 seconds. You had a very good use of the word dexterous. Tavish had 47.5 seconds. Monisha also made it to 1 minute and 7 seconds. Mr. Altair, you went to 1 minute and 18 seconds. And Pulanthi, you had a very nice job at 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Just a teeny bit over, hardly anything to notice about. So table topics, getting to the point was very good. And those are today's times. So back to you, Madam President.
I really like all of the things we did today. It was super fun and a nice kickoff for our last section. Let's see. Now I think we can go to our general evaluation. Please say I'm right.
Who did you want to do that?
We could do the general evaluations, or we could like tell our general evaluations for like the whole Toastmaster thing. So I guess we can move on to like the every general evaluation.
We have 7 more minutes, so I think maybe any of our coordinators can tell us what they think about Toastmasters.
That was a great idea. Okay, why don't Mr. Salvaraj, Miss Bonnie, Miss Anna, and Mr. Alter tell what we did nicely and what they want to improve.
On our next session, And
for the next session, what they want us to do.
Excellent. I let's start with Bonnie. I know that this is her first coordination, but at the same time, it's a fun feeling. So I would like to, let's hear from her.
Okay, have me first again. No, you know what? I was very impressed with you guys when I first even attended the first meeting, or one of the first meetings that I attended. I was impressed. I could not believe that you guys were so well organized and you had everything flowing so good. Keep up that part. You continue on with, you have a list of things that you have to do and do them well. Just follow that and participate. That's the one thing you want to do, is make sure you participate. And take time to, do your stories, your speeches. And like mine was a speech of my niece and my nephew. So your speech can be about anything, but I learned so much from you guys. I mean, the speeches you guys gave me were amazing. I was amazed at them. So I appreciate all the work that you guys put into this and continue doing it. So thank you. Great job. You guys do a great job.
Awesome. No, I really want to personally also thank you, Bonnie, for being there, available. Your availability, it is so important, and I'm sure all of them are getting benefit. So, Alter, how about Alter? Would you like to share any more?
Just piggyback off of Ms. Bonnie. Again, it's been wonderful. Another session. I'm looking forward to the next session. You guys amaze me. I wish I had what you guys have when I was your age. It's a blessing to be in the situation that you are, and I hope you take advantage of it in your futures. I'm looking forward to seeing you as leaders of our communities in the future. And it's as much as going on in the world, it's very promising when I see young leaders like yourselves and everything that you're doing. So I just want to commend you and thank you for letting me be a part of it. And just remember to give your all. Work on your speeches, but don't be nervous. Don't never let them see you sweat. I know it's hard to get up and speak in front of people, but they can't tell. They don't know what's going on inside you. All you have to do is show that you're confident, and it's going to come out from everything that you do. I just want to just touch on Tavis and Rhea on your speeches, on your table topics, and talking about your parents were the messiest and your brother was a smell. I hope y'all have your doors closed. And I'm thinking that Rhea, you're probably going to be cleaning up a lot from here in the near future if they heard that. It was hilarious. I loved it though. So thank you both. Thank you all.
Thank you, Alter. And I see, before I move on to Anna, and I can't thank enough for Anna, because yeah. So before moving to Anna, I think Vel and Nambi, you have raised hand. Do you want to say something? I see Vel and Nambi.
Oh, sorry, that was on accident. On accident.
Okay, but what's your feedback? What did you like? I think this is your first session, right?
No, this is just my fifth or sixth. I don't know.
Yeah, fifth or sixth.
This is
batch. This is your this is one of first batch, I know. So what do you like most? What did you learn from this 5, 6 sessions?
I learned kind of the basics of speaking and like public speaking and like kind of like how to overcome speaking in front of a lot of people. And like it just provides me with like experience on how to speak in front of like a large crowd. And then when I do it multiple times, it like, well, my brain learns it and I get to practice it. And really, it really taught me to speak in front of a big crowd.
Perfect. Okay. Good. But why your video is off? Moving to Divya. Divya Saktivel, what do you like most and what did you learn?
I learned you don't always have to be shy to speak. Like, I used to be really shy to speak out. One thing I've learned like is to not feel scared to talk, because I used to feel a lot like really scared to like talk out and be like, what if they doubt me? What if they judge me? What if they do this? What if they do that? So that was one of the things I learned. And this all the virtual stuff made me talk more. Most of the meetings make me talk more, because if it's face to face, I would just don't talk about it. I would just leave it and be like, I don't care.
Okay, thank you. So you had a chance of giving your speech, Divya?
I didn't do a speech, but I was a timer, and then I think I did a word of the day.
Okay, so how many of you, raise your hand, how many of you have not given a speech, your prepared speech? Raise your hand if you have not given one. I see Divya's hand. I think only yourself. Okay, so Divya, here is an option. Sorry? Somebody spoke? Okay, Vetri Sami, Vetri, have you given your speech? Vetri Sami? Yes?
Yeah.
I know Rijual spoke, I know Inia spoke, Kundavi, yes, Monisha, yes, Rohit, and I see Puklendi, yes, Taviz. Okay, good. So Vidhi, what did you learn, Vidhi, from this all the sessions? What's your learning?
I learned that you should never be scared by speaking in public, and this actually helped me do better in school, because now I actually ask questions to the teacher, and this even helped me stand up for myself whenever I need to.
Very good. Good. So Ria, how did you feel like being a president for a couple of weeks, couple of day sessions?
It felt fun because I was in control of the meeting and I got to decide, well, not decide what to do, but I got to decide how many table topics were there. And I like to see people volunteer to do things kind of under my name, but still. And I just wanted to say that in school we have a National Honors Junior Society, and in school we had to write an essay about what community service you did or what type of classes that you did. And I was lucky to have an opportunity to write that I do Toastmasters Gavel Club in it. And because of my hard work here, I got accepted into National Junior Honor Society. So I'm very
That's a big whoo. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad that you shared that. Very good. Believe me, I'm sure Anna will watch for this. There are many leaders are made in Toastmasters, actually. Many leaders, I would say. So you're all blessed, lucky. We are all blessed. I am blessed to have you all and interacting like this. So how about Inia?
Do I say what I learned?
Yes. No, let me
Well, I
ask you a
learned
different question. Do you, Inia, I know we are all busy, but you have spent your time here. Is the time spent, what you have spent your time, is it worthful?
Yeah, I think it was. I go to a separate private speech class, and next week I have an impromptu tournament. So we have to speak for 5 minutes. So I think this gave me a lot of extra training, and I think it'll help.
Wow, perfect. You guys are all really putting into use. You're straight implementing it. I'm so glad. Okay. So how about Pugalandi? How do you feel like being, I know you did a lot of volunteer work here, and every meeting you were vice president role. And how do you, what's the feeling of playing a different role, leadership role? Pugal.
Yeah, every time it feels different what I'm doing. So this class makes me feel I can learn every single view, every single point of public speaking. And before I used to be kind of nervous about talking, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Oh my God, I'm gonna die of humiliation. I wish I never joined this thing. Oh no, what am I going to do? But now I'm like, oh, just this? Yeah, I can ace it. So now it kind of feels fun to do it. And I really love joining this class. Yeah.
Awesome. Glad. I can see the difference. Oh, wow. That's good. Anybody else? Sorry. Anybody else want to volunteer and say something? Raise your hand. I know Kundavi's hand is up. Ananya's hand is up. Okay, I'll go with Kundavi. Go ahead, Kundavi.
One thing I really liked about Toastmaster is the way all of the presidents, coordinators, and all of the leadership roles had stepped up and volunteered and asked and like gave the opportunity instead of being like, oh, you're gonna do this role, oh, you're gonna do that role. It was really nice to feel like a part of something. Some people say I'm very talkative, but I don't really use those talkative words into something useful. But like this club has made me club session, whatever you call it, except class. It's made me feel like I'm talkative, but I am worth something. So it's really been fun also. I'm usually the one who's like, oh, okay, lame. But like this club has made me like, oh, this is fun instead of lame. So that's one thing I really liked. And I actually wanted to say thank you to everyone because I know that everyone has at least volunteered for something. And it was fun seeing their point of view. And that's all.
Awesome. Fantastic. Anyone else? Ananya, before anyone else. Ananya, go ahead.
Yeah. So when I first went for the first session, I felt before I joined Toastmasters, before COVID-19, I always been a talkative person. But then when it was COVID-19, I didn't really talk much. Like I wasn't that talkative at it because I wasn't really interacting with a lot of people. And I needed also I need to up my vocabulary a lot. So Toastmasters and the word of the day also helps me with the like in basic conversations with my friends, I have more eye contact. Like I can, because I'm always looking down and then like all looking away and then this talk continuing. So I have more eye contact on them, and it's very useful for basic conversations and like essays that I told like my classmates before. I actually, like in the next few weeks, I have like a slideshow I'm doing for my class, and me and my group have to speak. So I have to do most of the speaking it. And I also go to SASAT to speak that as well. So it really helps me. And also I really enjoyed it. It's very fun.
Very good. Excellent. Very good. Anyone? How about Pritika? I don't see your video at all. Pritika, And Monisha, I know, Monisha, I would really want to thank you, Monisha, because she's the one who has prepared the agenda. First, only 2 weeks I prepared, and rest all she has done. So all the credit, agenda and complete overview, sharing your screen, and Pugal and Rijul, I know Tavis, they voluntarily asked me, make me a co-host so that I can spotlight people who were winners speak. So it is like a seamlessly everyone was operating. I'm so happy. Monisha, in particularly you, I want to really thank you, because handling agenda is very, very important, and you did it promptly and you shared with everyone. So go ahead, Monisha, taking that responsibility, how did you feel?
First of all, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity. Taking the opportunity was like a big, I was like really happy to take it, because like I get to speak more other than just volunteering. I get to like handle the things that happen inside, and I feel like I have part in like the Toastmasters when I get to like make the documents or have access to it. And I think like it really helped boost my confidence, and I got to learn a lot of things and meet a lot of new people. Before like I joined, I was like really nervous to speak to someone. I started getting butterflies in my stomach and my heart started pounding. But after this, like I feel open to everyone, not just like people I've like known for like over like a long time. So I think that this has really helped me meet new people, get new experiences and their point of views, but it also helps me like learn how to like speak properly and learn like the techniques that you need to be a proper speaker and use that in my speeches.
Super, perfect. Thank you. So whoever is spotlighting now, I know somebody is trying to spotlight as well now. I am doing the spotlight. This is also another way of, you can bring in, I would like to bring in here Ria, because he was a president. So I'm just bringing here whoever has taken the lead role. And hold on, I would like to bring here on the same window, you can do multiple spotlights, so that I would like to bring up Kundavi here, add spotlight, and you guys were, who else were president in this?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ananya.
Ananya.
I'm bringing Ananya now. So add to spotlight. So I just wanted to, I know everyone is special, but you guys are very special, because when an opportunity comes, you have taken the lead role. That is so important. We all need leaders. So make sure that, take this leadership, and it is a volunteer, as everyone acknowledges. And then we do have a next session. We are going to start on May 4th. And you are most welcome. If you want the experience of how to be a president and secretary and vice president, and bring up your skill so that you go through this experience. And it is free. So don't worry, and learn, make some mistakes here and learn from the leaders like Anna. So with this point, having you spotlighted, I'm going to bring a special person here, and let's see what's her. Okay, now Anna is going to give you some inputs to you guys as a president and overall. Go ahead, Anna.
Well, it's boy, that's a tough act to follow. You all have used your skills, and you're very dexterous and talked about what you learned. I want to thank you all and say you all did a great job. In the beginning, you could see people were a little nervous. They would talk very low and they talk fast when asked things, but now you guys are actually involved in conversation, and you can see the confidence in you, and you've all done a tremendous job and come very far, and keep it up. Keep up the good work. It's funny, some people you hear say, oh, I don't know what's going to happen in this country or in the world and all the bad things. And I actually said the other day, I said, don't worry. The kids have got it. They got this all under control. We got nothing to worry about. And that's coming from watching you and seeing how you learn and how you develop. So please keep up the very good, very, very good work that you're doing. And you leaders, you've really done an amazing job. Toastmasters is really about the people who are in it. And you guys are doing a fantastic job. We just guide you when you might not be sure of something, because we've done it a long time. I've been a president. Mr. Selva's been a president. I think Mr. Altair is a president as well. So we've done it a long time, and we've come up with a few experiences to help you. But you make the group, and you are making a very good group. So be proud of yourselves and keep taking those opportunities. Even if you feel a little bit shy about it, you don't know if you can do it, go ahead and try. Try to do it. And I bet you'll do it most of the time. And if the time you don't quite get what you want, then you'll learn something and you'll do it the way you want the next time. So great job, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. And keep up the very, very good work you've started here.
Awesome, wonderful. I think with that, good. But yeah, Kundavi has created some flyer by, and then she has written something there. So anyone wants to share anything? 8 weeks, we did it. Wow, yes. And we have May 4th onwards, we are starting another batch. There are already 20 plus participants. Yes, teamwork too, we love it. Yeah, there is already 20 participants. So if you are wanted to join, if you want to be part of it, feel free. And you have in a WhatsApp group, I put the link, and I will also send the mail one more time. If you would like to be part of it and take up a leadership role, by all means. Okay. With that, I am done. Anybody who wants to share anything, we can be there for 5 minutes. Go ahead, Kundavi.